Welcome to another presentation at the East Trade Winds, a chapter of the World Referral Network, hosted by Bernie Franzgrote and Wayne Pratt. The presentation today is titled A Lifetime in Energy. Milton Stark Talks Power, Policy, and the Future. Our guest is Milton Stark. Milton is originally from rural western Colorado, began his academic pursuits in theater arts at a local junior college in 1966. His education was intermittently paused due to financial constraints, which led him to enlist in the Army, where he served as a nuclear power plant operator instrument technician. After concluding his 9-year military service, Milton transitioned to the civilian energy sector, gaining extensive experience in training, management, and project management on pioneering projects like the 3 Mile Island Roman II recovery and technology transfer initiatives to China. Now at 75, he focuses on writing and speaking about the energy industry's shift towards renewable resources. Outside of his professional life, Milton enjoys golf and writing poetry and short stories, while dedicating time to his wife of 43 years.
That's my website. And I'm showing the website because I'm really proud of it, and not very many people go look at it. But this is about me. I am dedicated to illuminating the path of a sustainable energy future. I have a comprehensive education, although I'm not educated. I'll tell you about that a little more later. And consulting services that cover everything from nuclear power to green energy sources, while offering an expert guidance in business management and organizational development. Join me on a journey to transform knowledge into action and inspire excellence in every endeavor. That's the kind of the goal for where I'm at and what I'm doing. This seems like a very broad approach at what I can do. And all I can say in defense of that is that I'm really old and I've done a lot of different things for a lot of different people. And if you look down this list here of people that have actually been my clients over the last number of years, and this is actually a partial list, I've been out there doing things for 50 odd years now. And the areas that I serve, I function as a speaker, an author, and a consultant. But what my primary interest is in today, and what I really wanted to talk about, is this speaking on energy sector issues. I speak about energy from comprehensive insights to various energy topics. And the topics I've got listed here: nuclear power generation, and we can speak on nuclear power generation from many different aspects of what is it, how does it work, why does it work, why did we use it, why should we use it, is it safe, those kinds of aspects on nuclear power. Renewable and green energy, I've been involved in many of the available types of energy, both technically and administratively. Energy storage and transmission deals primarily with the grid systems that we have throughout the world and how they work, why they work, and then energy policies. What are the current policies? What are the anticipated policies? Where do we need to go with those? And the overall gist of where we are and what we're doing in power generation, or bring it back really to the climate change issue. One of the things that I've had to look at is, why do we have the chaos in the first place? And where are the issues? What is the problem? And don't shut me off when I say this right now, but we don't have a climate problem. We, the world, globally, do not have a climate problem. What we do have is an energy problem. And I think part of what's causing the chaos in our trying to resolve the problem, regardless of what you call it, is regarding what you call it. We're trying to control our climate, and we have no control over our climate. There's nothing that we can really do to control our climate. What we do have control over, to some very small extent, is energy. And in order to make a difference or change something with energy, we need to understand how that energy correlates to the climate and everything else that we're doing. The goal that we have set right now, as on an international basis, the goal that we have set to stop climate warming, which is much, much more descriptive of our energy problem than climate change. What we're talking about is the average atmospheric temperature on the Earth. That's what really is driving our evaluation of how well we're doing, is our average atmospheric temperature on Earth. And the endeavor is try to maintain that increase in temperature below 1.5 degrees centigrade. And we're doing that to a very large extent by concentrating on carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And most of us really don't understand what the carbon dioxide does, why we're trying to control it. It's one of many greenhouse gases that we're trying to control. The reason we're trying to control it is that they're one very small part of the overall view of energy in the Earth's energy system. And of course, it's not really the Earth's energy system, it's energy in its existence in the world. All energy for us on Earth, all energy, not some, not part, all energy on the Earth comes from the sun. That is, if you believe in classical physics versus nuclear physics, because the rules change when we go from classical physics to nuclear physics. So you're starting to see the chaos. It's just, I'm sure you're sitting there looking at me going, what is he talking about? Our endeavor to fix our problem is this chaos that revolves around the global energy system. And the reason that it's chaos is, in my opinion, one is that we really haven't identified it as an energy problem. And most of us who are trying to solve the problem, and by most of us, John and Mary on the street, the politicians, the people who are running businesses, us, the people of the world, rich, poor, we're all involved in this thing. If it's a problem, it's a problem for all of us. But we really don't understand what the problem is or what it is that we can do about the problem. So we're in the midst of this chaos of looking for multiple solutions, but those solutions are all essentially directed at how do we reduce carbon in the atmosphere? Like I said, that's one of the solutions that we need to be looking at. So what I try to do with my speaking about energy is to give us a little clearer fix on what energy is and how it really impacts us and what we as individuals can do to help with the issue. And the first thing that we can do as individuals is to have an understanding so that we can make decisions, which we make every day, individually, personally, politically. We make decisions about what actions we should take. And we're making those decisions using either inadequate or false information. And I'm not a flag waving false news kind of guy at all. It's not that there's a group of people out there that are trying to lie to us. Everybody out there is doing the same thing that we in this group are doing, and that's trying to live and survive and do the best we can for ourselves and our families. But we don't really have any idea how that correlates to the use of energy, how energy is created. That's actually part of the issue. Energy is not created in the classical sense. Energy is only created in the atomic sense. The only place on Earth where energy is created is in either a fission or a fusion process. Other than that, we simply change energy. There's Within this chaos, there is a sanity. There is a system. There is something that actually functions and works, but it has many components and many inputs. And we need to understand, not at a doctorate level, but we need to understand at an individual level what that relationship is. And that relationship for us, again, looking at classical energy, all of our energy comes from the sun through radiation. We see it as light, but of course, the radiated energy that comes to the earth is not just the energy in the photo band that we can see. There's also infrared, microwave, all of those radiated energies are coming from the sun and they come to the earth. And all of that energy is either in the earth or has to be ejected from the earth back into space. So, in a long-term basis, what we're looking at is what comes in must go out, meaning that the energy that comes into the earth's realm, which is our atmosphere and the body of the earth and so on and so forth, that energy that comes in from the sun has to go back out again. It has to be radiated out again. And greenhouse gases interfere with that radiation. And that's why we've settled on dealing with the greenhouse gases to be our major control issue. But there are many more things that are involved besides just controlling the greenhouse gases. And the reason we've chosen carbon, by the way, is not that it's the most effective of the greenhouse gases, but it's the easiest one that we can put any kind of control efforts on. The two major ones, the two most impactful, are carbon and methane. And we haven't figured out how to control methane on the earth, let alone control it into an atmospheric thing. But the energy comes in from the sun, it comes into the earth's atmosphere, and then it has to leave. If it doesn't leave, one of two things has to happen. That kinetic energy that's coming in as radiation from the sun has to convert into a potential energy, which is a method of storing energy. One of those, or some of those potential energies, is the creation of coal and oil and gas that we're pulling out of the earth and burning. That natural process of stuffing that coal and oil and stuff into the earth was building this big reservoir of stored energy within the earth. And when we start pulling that energy out of the earth and putting it back into the energy cycle, we're doing two things. We use the energy to move things around. We put it back into kinetic energy, but another form of energy is heat. And what we talk about in degrees, the temperature is simply a measurement of the quantity of heat energy that exists within anything. That heat energy is usable and transferable, except we get involved with the chaos of energy. So that heat has to go someplace. If we can't get rid of it, it does what? It collects in our atmosphere and the temperature rises in the atmosphere. And that's really the problem that we're dealing with. That takes our climate change issue. The climate is the movement of the atmosphere near Earth around us that moves because of the heat energy that is applied within the Earth. So the more energy there is in the atmosphere, the more chaotic the atmosphere becomes. Ergo, that's why we start seeing new changes in wind currents and so on, those are a result of the heat. So it's energy that we're really talking about, and that is only an introduction to a very long conversation about now what can we do with a little more understanding about the problem? What can we do besides wasted, sometimes ridiculous efforts to control carbon and other things? Part of the things that we're doing to try to fix our climate problem are foolhardy when you look at the energy consumption and usage that goes along with them. And that's the
Nope.
sanity that I'd like to bring. And like I said, this is an introduction to a many-year conversation. Thank you.
Unlock the full potential of networking with the World Referral Network. Are you eager to connect with our esteemed guest speaker and delve deeper into the ever-expanding universe of the World Referral Network? Simply scan the QR code now and embark on a journey of endless opportunities. Join us at East Trade Winds, where we gather online every Tuesday from 8 to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, you're welcome to connect with us and other chapters across the World Referral Network. Seize the moment, register for free, and start exploring today. Fancy sharing your insights as a guest speaker? We're looking for you. Reach out to Wayne Pratt to ignite your speaking journey. Email him at motivateyou.ca or connect with Wayne on LinkedIn. Don't wait. Take action and be a part of a global community that's shaping the future of business networking.